What is going on, everybody? And I am deciding to do something a little weird. I decided, you know what? I have recently started collecting these little tins of Pokemon, and I've gotten a little binder up there, this little red binder that you can see. Right, I don't know how to orient my. Right there you go. That's now starting to get filled up with Pokemon cards, and I decided to relive a little bit of my childhood. So, if it doesn't seem like too much for you guys, I decided, hey, if I'm gonna do something, might as well do a little bit more of it. So, for this video, I am going to be reviewing the first 15 Pokemon. I know 15 is a little bit of a weird number, but it fits a little bit well, and I decided to plan to do a little bit more of these. So, what I want to do is just go over my thoughts on the design, the actual things of the character, the actual just details of the character that I like and dislike, and decide, hey, might as well. So, without further ado, let's get into that. Now, we're going to go ahead and start from the very beginning. The website I'm going to be using is the official Pokemon one, right up there. It should be easy to go, and I've already got a few tabs open to show off the 15 that I've decided to. I'm starting in numerical order from 1 to 15, as you can see, starting with our lovely friend at number 1, Bulbasaur, the first Pokemon. Even though technically Arceus was, or Arceus, whichever one you want to say it, was the creator of the first Pokemon, and then there's Mew, who's like the progenitor to all the different Pokemon, and then there's, I think it's Rhyhorn or Rhydon. The second evolution is the one that was originally the first designed Pokemon. So it's a little weird. But let's go ahead and get into this. Our first one of the day is Bulbasaur. This weird little cabbage frog, onion toad. The Bulbasaur, as in frog of plant egg. What happens if you crack open that egg? What happens if you crack open? Okay, a bulb is like an egg. A bulb is to a plant what an egg is to a chicken. So does that mean if I crack this thing open, I will have like a rose yolk? What's a rose yolk? Would that taste good? Alright, let's go ahead and move on from that. Now, right here in this version it says this is a plant seed on. There is a plant seed on its back right from the day the Pokemon is born. The seed slowly grows larger. So does that mean the seed just grows larger if it's the longer it's alive? That seems a little odd. What happens if because these things, age and evolution mean nothing to these little fuckers. So wouldn't that mean, like, is there like a 90-year-old one that's like the same size as this little thing? And then it's like this little bitch right here. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Then like this little fuck right here is gonna be like massive. It's gonna be like that episode of South Park where Randy is just dragging his balls around because they're so fucking huge. Alright, let's go over to the next one. While it is young, it uses the nutrients that are stored in its seed on its back in order to grow. So, is there nutrients inside this thing that makes it to where he absorbs it, and then he gets bigger? But then this one also just says that the seed slowly grows larger. What the? Is there nutrients in this that feeds him to get larger, that then causes this to get larger? That is an infinite energy tunnel. That makes no fucking sense. How are you supposed to... Alright, whatever. Pretty bare bones stats. As you can see, the evolution line, when the hell was he grass and poison? What the fuck? He was just grass when I knew him. When the fuck did he get poison? Was this like an update I didn't know about? The hell's going on? Here's some things. There's a few TV episodes. There's a few different... It's supposed to look cute, but those eyes stare into the soul I don't have. Gee, oh, I didn't even realize. That's cool. But let's go ahead and call that. The design on this little guy, I would give a solid 7.5 out of 10. Not my favorite design, but he definitely does. Like, if you see this guy, you'd be like, that's a Pokemon. Alright, on to the next guy. Let's go ahead and close that window. On to Ivysaur, the next evolution on this little guy to this little guy. And I gotta say, I'm not a fan of this guy. Half of him doesn't change. His teeth get a little bit larger right there.
His teeth get a little bit larger, the fangs, or whatever you want to call them, and these little claws get a little bit bigger. He gets a darker tint. Like, he goes from greenish to now blue, and the bulb just, like, sprouts open. Now there's these big palm leaves right here, and the start of what looks like a rosebud, even though it's like a weird palm tree looking thing, or one of those, like, really shitty, rotten smelling plant things. I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of him. Pretty mediocre stats altogether, special attack and special defense. It's cool, but he's also, like, kind of not exactly fast enough to do a lot of things. And now, these two little things, when the bulb on its back grows large, it appears to lose the ability to stand on its hind legs. So, like, an evolutionary flaw is just pointed out in his thing. He fucking hurts his back and doesn't have the ability to strengthen his lower legs because he's off balance all the time. What the hell? Hell, apparently Pokemon God doesn't even like this guy. Alright, I guess I'll move on to the next one. Exposure to sunlight adds its strength. Exposure to sunlight adds to its strength. Sunlight also makes the bud on its back grow larger. So this thing no longer like feeds off of him to where there'll just be a nutrient infinite circle. So this thing is now just solar dependent, and it's essentially just a parasite at this point. Unless if this thing grows and he grows, then that might also be a thing. But yeah, for this guy, it's very repetitive of Bulbasaur. Not exactly a ton going on here, it's just this gets traded in. Like, the plant blooms a little bit. Not even like the right type of bloom. This is like clearly to a bud of a plant. These are just fucking palm leaves. Like, what the... why? 5. Ivysaur gets a 5. Not a good transition between the two. Venusaur, probably the ugliest motherfucker I've ever seen. But, like, I wouldn't turn him down. He's not my favorite. By the way, I know he has a Mega form and a Gigantamax form. I want to save the Gigantamaxes for the next video. For another video. No, probably later on down the line. Look at his stats! They just go up by like a single bar a piece. Like, he just stays the fucking same. He loses between the evolutions, he trades in like these little dot pattern looking things on him for the bulb, for like these little warts that just go. Is he supposed to be a frog? Is he supposed to be a frog? Why is he a frog? I guess this just gets larger to it, which that is a nicer change than just like onion to rosebud to palm tree. What the fuck, dude? Your ears get a little bit floppier, wider face. It's almost like you go from possibly bipedal to not very to just outright quadrupedal at best. And he's 6'7". Is that measured tail to snout, or is that like toe to crest of the tree? What the fuck's going on with this guy? Alright, I guess I'll just go over this. Its plant blooms when it's absorbing solar energy. It stays on the move to seek sunlight. How the fuck do you stay on the move, my guy? You have thick legs. And, like, you're all torso. How are you alive? How does your back work? Does that thing weigh a lot? Or does it weigh nothing and it just doesn't hurt you? My God, I feel bad for you. But, on that note, I will say, I like the design of him a lot more. The design, it's a subtle change, but there is a big one between these two evolutions right here. And I kind of like it. I like Venusaur a lot more than I like Ivysaur, but I like Bulbasaur better than both of them. Now let's check out the other version, because I totally forgot to do that. A bewitching aroma wafts from its flower. The fragrance becalms those engaged in a battle. Ooh, a lot of B words. Bewitch, becalm, beattle. a Beedrill. You guys should really know that word. It's a very special one. But overall, the actual design of this guy, I would rate a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. He's the best. He's second best so far, because Bulbasaur is just cute. Now, on to the next one. Charmander! Everybody's first choice when they play Pokemon for the first time, because everybody loves dragons. Now, personally, I like Charmander, but he seems like he's a very bare bones, like, design for him. Very, like, generic face, big anime eyes. He's got the little fire thing. He's just, like, a generic-looking dragon. Again, he's cute and all, but, like, personally, I wouldn't pick him. He's very, like, there's not a lot to him. Very thin layer of skin. If you've seen, like, the version of Charizard that shows up in the Detective Pikachu movie, where he actually has, like, scales and details, or at least the Charizard does, that would be a very good addition to this. But right now, as it stands, he's a very, like, bare-bones looking character. The little fire is a nice touch, and the blue eyes contrasting a lot of the orange and yellow light sort of colors. That's a nice touch. Now, let's go ahead and read his stats right here. It has a preference for hot things. When it rains, steam is said to spout from the tip of its tail. Yeah, because I don't know how the fuck hot this thing is supposed to be, but that's how conversion of energy works on liquids. You don't just exactly... What are you expecting? You pour water on a fire and then it turns to a solid? Very, very unclassy. This one I like the stats a little bit better. He has lower HP and lower defense and special defense, but he makes up for it by hitting fast and hard in more places than everything else. Now let's go on to the second one. From the time it's born, a flame burns at the tip of its tail. Hell, that is a hell of a pregnancy requirement. Jesus Christ, now I know why they come from eggs. Its life would end if the flame were to go out. What? If I just stomp on you, do you cease to exist? God damn. Damn, it's a sad life for you, my guy. Well, you don't have to worry about rain. But, overall, design-wise, I would give you a 6. You're a 6 out of 10 for a Pokemon. Now, Charmeleon. A little bit of a weird phase in between. Little bit. It is so close to being 420. I just noticed that. You are so close to being 420. Oddly enough, his stats kind of even out a little bit. Like special attack and speed are where it's at. He's not really everything. He just kind of buffs up in HP and defense, special defense, all that sort of shit. And let's go ahead and read this. It has a barbaric nature. In battles, it whips its fiery tail around and slashes away with its sharp claws. You're gambling your fucking life on your fire, and you're smashing around with just claws. What the hell, dude? Do you want to die? Is that how it works? Do you want to die? Is that what you're asking for? Goddamn, dude. Chill. Contain the calamity that is your memories. Now, on to the next one. If it becomes agitated during its battle, it spouts intense flames, incinerating the ground. Oh, so if you get pissed off, you just light everything on fire and hope that solves it. That's not how anger management works, my guy. Now, there is a difference between these where he's very smooth. There are like noticeable notches, kind of like sharper edges, a little bit of a more thing. There's a bigger difference between Charmeleon and Charmander that I find a lot more appealing than I do the way Bulbasaur and Ivysaur are. So, I'd give this guy a solid 7 out of 10. This guy's a 7 out of 10, and I would classify him as a good design. Good overall. Now, Charizard. Everyone's personal favorite. The fucking dragon everybody wants to have in the game because he's just kind of there. Because he's a dragon, and everybody thinks dragons are badass. And your stats, apparently, are the same across the board, except special attack is a little bit more of a little chunker right there with that extra thick padding you got right there. That's pretty nice. And the description for it. It spits fire that is hot enough to melt boulders. You be spitting that hot fire, yo. It may cause forest fires by blowing flames. Oh, he's also very into gender reveal parties. I commend you for it, you're 5'7", short fucking ass. Is that from tail tip to snout? Like, if we lengthened you out? Or is that from, like, your toes to your nose? And even then, are you, like, pointing your nose directly at the sky? Or are you, like, staring directly at the camera, like those weird-ass photos of characters? How does the height system work? What the fuck? And you're almost 200 pounds. Jesus Christ, man. How do you fly? Your wings do not take up a sizable amount of character. But the two little notches on the back I find a good design choice. And the blue one. Its wings can carry this Pokemon close to an altitude of 4,600 feet. It blows out fire very high. It blows out fire at very high temperatures. You just said you could burn boulders in half. What the fuck, dude? Good for you, good for you. Personally, I know everybody, this may be a hot take, and everybody says Charizard is like, oh, this is the favorite starter. I'm not as big of a fan as everybody else. I'm just not. He's a cool design. I like the contrast between the blues and the wings and the eyes to the everything else. And that fire just seems more like a hazard than anything else. Like, that could get you killed. Overall, I'd give him another 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 design-wise. Now, on to Squirtle. Turtle. Little slappy tail. Little nub arms. And these big old purple eyes. I love it. And he's defensive focused, depending on everybody else. Now, let's go ahead and focus on the descriptions. When it retracts its long neck into its shell, it squirts out water with vigorous force. So you gotta make sure you push its long neck back into the thick shell, the circular shell, to then make him squirt really hard. Just absolute blast just coming out of that throat hole of his. Gotta say, man, would not have expected you for a freak. Good for you, though. God, Jesus. When it feels threatened, it draws its limbs inside its shell and sprays water from its mouth. What? You're just like Gamera, but you throw up instead of doing anything. Design-wise, I find him adorable. Character description-wise, he's a fucking freak. Like, oh my god. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, you're adorable, but this shit right here fucks you in a special. Tiny turtle. You think he has a little fetish because he's so used to just squirting on people? Jesus, fuck. Wartortle. Weird design choices on their part. Like, the elf ears, the little fangs, these weird little watery sort of stylized tail. The shell is relatively similar. Is that? Yeah, it's not that big of a change. And a darker shade of blue. Overall, I like the change. Not my personal favorite amongst it. I think Charmeleon is probably my favorite of the first generations when it comes to like secondary forms. He's also still defensive, but he's also like buffed up a little bit. Now let's go to these. It is recognized as a symbol. It is recognized as a symbol of longevity. He can go all night. First he was really fast to squirt. Now he is just. You go all night long, baby. If its shell has algae on it, that Wartortle is very old. Do these guys not bathe themselves? You're in water. Fucking spray yourself. You're a pressure washer with armor. Just get yourself clean. I 100% guarantee there's a soap Pokemon out there that could clean you up. Jesus Christ, man. Man, is that like breast implants to you, where you just like get sprayed and suddenly you're like brand new? Like, oh, Jesus. 7 out of 10. Yeah, this is gonna be Red Sun's 7 out of 10 list. I guarantee. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are gonna say. Now let's go ahead and move on to Thick Boy. Look at that ass! Look at that ass! And look at those double thighs. Why double thighs? Let's go ahead and move on from that. Relatively good stats overall, with special defense being tough. Oh, this is a tanky motherfucker. Here. Shellfish. Have you been Shellfish? Have you not been sharing? What happened last time Daddy told you to share? Goddamn, only cares about himself. Fucking freaks. Alright, let's go ahead and read this. It crushes its foes under its heavy body to cause fainting. Not liking that. In a pinch, it will withdraw inside its shell. So you're just gonna commit capital assault and then you're going to hide inside your shell with clear artillery waiting? You dick. I can see why you're so shellfish. You only care about yourself and crushing other people with their dreams and hopes. Alright, on to the next one. The rocket cannons on its shell fire jets of water capable of punching holes through thick steel. You're just a recluse. You are a recluse. You just stay inside your well-armored home waiting for people to come in and steal your gold. I ain't coming on my property. I ain't gonna steal my shit. Overall, these things are fucking mean to, like, what the character designs are. I fucking love Blastoise. He is my absolute favorite. He is the best of the Gen 1 starters. Do not at me. I will fight you and your children. Don't worry, I don't fight children, unless they're a dick. So, character-wise, I really like the design. It's like minimalist where it needs to be, but it also has like little notches, like the cannons, the largeness on the arms, the little tail that goes from the water symbol right there to just being a minimal sort of thing to it. The idea that he's a lot fucking tougher in those sort of stats. I really like Blastoise. I'd give him a 9 out of 10 on the character design. Fine, he's humanoid enough to know that he's a Pokemon, but he also has a little bit of character to his whole thing. Alright, now on to Cattypie. Everybody's Route 1 nightmare that continuously shows up every fucking chance he gets because somebody just wants to grind levels at a low level and you still get wrecked by that one asshole. Sorry, low fucking stats. You hear that? You're a weak virgin bitch, Cattypie. You know that? No one loves you. Now, on to the next one. Let's go ahead and read his statements. For protection, it releases a horrible stench from its antenna on its head to drive away enemies. So, not only are you weak as shit, if somebody gets near you, you just let a fat one rip right in the room and ruin the whole elevator for everybody else. You want to know why nobody loves you? Because you're awful in social scenarios. No, this is why Mom left. You know what you did. Fucking shit in your pants in the elevator every chance you get because you're scared. Loser. Loser. Overall, design-wise, I've seen animals that look exactly like this guy. Solid 4 out of 10. Would not recommend. Would easily grind for levels. Now, on to the next one. Metapod, the hardest of boys. You're 2 foot long. You're a fucking baseball bat and a half. Jesus. You weigh 21 pounds. You are a fucking baseball bat and a half. Cocoon Pokemon. No, I thought he was a can opener. Thank you very much. Abilities, shed skin. I think if you shed your skin, you'd be a completely different Pokemon, but alright. Let's go ahead and see the stats. Oh, defense, a little bit higher than it should be. How about you just... Why isn't defense, like, up here? Like, why doesn't it just go to, like, the insanity? You're supposed to be a Cocoon. Aren't Cocoons hard? Now let's go to here. It is waiting for the moment to evolve. So he's not even... He's just like, this is an awkward face. Don't look at this. At this stage, it can only harden. Oh, Cialis, Dr. Master General. So it remains motionless to avoid attack. You lazy bitch. You're just standing there by yourself, not moving, getting hard. That is disgusting. I would not let you near my children. All 75 of them. I don't have kids, but someone does. Good for you. Even though it is encased in a sturdy shell, the body inside is tender. So you're telling me there's some goopy nonsense going on inside that. There's some magic. Why do you have eyes? Why are the eyes on the outside? It can't withstand harsh attacks. So your whole thing is that you stand still, get hard, get tough, your defense is a lot higher, and your HP is a little bit higher, and you don't do shit, and you can't take attacks. You are a goddamn disappointment, you know that? Overall, design-wise, I kinda like it. It's better than Cattypie. I would give you a solid 4 out of... 5.5 out of 10. Butterfree. Bye-bye, bitch. No, I'm kidding. Stats. Lowers defense, gets stronger everywhere. Special attack goes up a lot higher than I thought it was going to go. Now, let's go ahead. You're purple, big ol' wings, big ol' antenna. What that antenna do? Oh, yes, I understand you have more forms, but we'll get to that later. In a battle, it flaps its wings at great speeds to release highly toxic dust into the air. Oh, fucking war crimes. Is that what's going on? War crime central up in your house? You awful person. Not only do you have to sit there and get hard for the longest time, you fart when you're a child, when you're scared. You then sit in a still state and get hard, and then once you're no longer hard, you evolve into this and then shit yourself again. And god, you are a special kind of stupid. It collects honey every day. Is that what's giving you the gas? Because I think I found the problem. It rubs honey onto the hairs on its legs to carry it back to the nest. What is it with early gen Pokemon and being fucking freaks? I've never rubbed hair on my legs, allegedly, and I don't think this is a good idea. Jesus, Lord, why have you done this? Why has God allowed you to be? Why? Design-wise, 7 out of 10. Man, pretty decent, definitely a Pokemon. Character-wise, you're 2. You're 2. I'm gonna mid and say 4.5. 4.5. You're just a butterfly. Bye-bye, Butterfree. Weedle. I hate so much. How do you eat? Is that your tongue? Is that your nose? Where is your mouth? How do you ingest? Stats. Bitch loser. Bitch loser. Character design. Pointy. Little clitorises just up and down the legs, and then one big one up here that you rub, and then when he's ready to go, he silly strings you to death. God damn, I hate you so fucking much, Weedle. Beware of the sharp stinger on its head. It hides in grass and bushes where it eats leaves. You're just sitting there eating your fucking leaves. Oh my god, I hate you. I hate you so much. 1 out of 10. Epic fail. Would not recommend. Would throw off a bridge. It's 1 out of 10. Bad Weedle. Kakuna. You look like you're wearing a tie. Like, if I colored that red, it would be a tie. Alright. Nice overhydrated diarrhea brown. Very, very custom. How is your defense not higher? You're still a cocoon. The other guy had more defense. You're also a cocoon, too. What the fuck? Able to move only slightly. Oh, so you can just sit there and be a silent little child the whole time. When endangered, it may stick out its stinger and poison its enemy. Can you, is there a step in between? You move only slightly, and if you're scared, you stab a bitch? Why? Why is that your first reaction? Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Wait. Is that... You're such a fucking loser. You only have 1 entry. 3 out of 10. 3. You can only be hard, and you're not even good at it. You have to use bullshit tactics like Frost from Dragon Ball Super. You just wait till people get close and then you shiv them with poison. What is it? Absolute disgrace. 3 out of 10 would set on fire. And now Beedrill. I know you have a Mega Evolution, but I don't know if you have a Gigantamax, so I'm not even going to check. Now, overall, a little bit better design. Proportions are a little bit better. The legs aren't as The legs I don't like. It's so, like, weird and bug-like. The wings I think are a cool shape. The stingers seem impractical at best. Eyes are a nice contrast between the entire body. The antenna really... What are those used for? What those antennae do? Alright, stats are pretty decent for a low-level character. And finally, the last two things that we'll go over in this video. It has 3 poisonous stingers on its forelegs and its tail. They are used to jab its enemy repeatedly. You fucking asshole. Why does everybody want to get poisoned? Stop poisoning everybody. Maybe you'll make friends. You're just as big of a bitch as the last one. Why? Can you please make friends? Can you stop stabbing people? Maybe they'll give you a second entry. Everybody else had a second entry until you started stabbing people. So, let's go ahead and end it right there. If you want to see more, then I will be doing more, and if you decide to like the video, subscribe. We're on our way to 100. We're on our way to 100 subs, and I think we can do it. But I wasn't trying when we first started, and I think I'm going to start trying now. So, if you want to see the next 15, I will try to make it a shorter video. This video ended up turning out a lot longer than I thought it was going to. But, in the next video, we will be continuing on. So, until next time, I have been the Red Sun, and I am going to... I'm gonna start editing. Bye, guys.